Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another transfer talk show. The rumours are coming thick and fast. More developments in the Jadon Philogene deal. A surprise, very surprise striker link. Defender from Juventus again linked, and also goodbye to our not so much Brazilian superstar. But before we get into it, please do hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and make sure you get involved in the comments down below. Help us on the road to past 4,500 subscribers, on the road to 5K. Your support's been amazing over the last few days, so please keep that coming. Like, subscribe, and as I say, comment your thoughts below. So, Jadon Philogene. More has been announced and more has been revealed in terms of the deal. Yesterday, we said that Ipswich had agreed the deal with Jadon Philogene, and it looked all set for him to go there after Everton had initially said that they had agreed the deal as well. But Aston Villa did have this matching clause in with the deal, and I did say I wasn't sure how much of an advantage it was, and the decision was up to the player, and how much had Aston Villa kind of shown how much they liked him, shown him the love because he did really well last pre-season. Didn't then, I guess, feature too much in the first team plans for Unai Emery. Went sold to Hull. Maybe there was FFP reasons in that as well. But, for his perspective, how much does he think Aston Villa wanted him? Now, it's now transpired that we have activated this matching clause. Inside that matching clause, a 30% discount would already be activated. So if he's going for 18 million, it'd be 30% off on that. So somewhere in the region of 13 million. And we also agreed terms with him already last summer. If we were to set up this matching clause, and Philogene had already agreed to them. So it looks very much like we are in pole position to sign him back. Now, all of those, you know, attractive features that we've got: Champions League football, fourth in the table, not going to be involved in the relegation battle, that Ipswich probably will be. And Everton, while they are a solid team, they have been fighting at the bottom of the Premier League as well. So all of those things, I guess, attract a player like Philogene to Aston Villa. However, is he going to be guaranteed that first team football, which I suppose is one of the things that those other clubs could probably more so guarantee him. But if those personal terms have already agreed, then it does look like we are going to potentially sign him back. Now, yes, we sold him for 6 million, I think it was. Is it going to be around about 7-8 million kind of fee that we're paying again for a player that's probably really improved? We saw his stats yesterday for what he did at Hull. He's had a full season in the championship, comes back a stronger, more developed player. And we've seen what's happened with the likes of Morgan Rogers having played in the championship. Unai Emery's seen a player that's more developed now, can work with him. Are we going to see a much better Jadon Philogene if he does sign on the dotted line again for Aston Villa? Obviously, an English-based player as well, so helps with that Champions League setup with regards to how many players, English-based players, you have in the squad. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see with that. But for me, I think I really, really enjoyed what he did last preseason, and he looked really sharp. And I would have wanted him more involved in the first team squad. Has he come back a better player? It remains to be seen on that, and we'll see whether he does feature more in the Premier League moving forward next season, and maybe in the Champions League if he does sign. But obviously that decision is still down to the player. I'm sure Ipswich, I'm sure Everton, I'm sure a number of other clubs. I think Crystal Palace may be interested in it as well. So we'll see what he decides to do over the coming days. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments on him. A few mixed ones yesterday off the back of what we reported. So, maybe now, if it looks like this deal and what was agreed, maybe now the kind of thought process might have changed a little bit. But let me know your thoughts in the comments on Jadon Philogene. But I think, regardless, I think he deserves his chance in the Premier League. If he comes to Villa on this price, then I think, there's something definitely to work with. Now, I don't know how concrete these links, how reliable these links are, but we'll report it anyway. It's all a good bit of fun. Ivan Toney has been potentially linked to Aston Villa. Now, this would, in my opinion, be a fantastic signing. Whether he would be willing to compete with Ollie Watkins for that striking position remains to be seen. Whether they would be paired up front together, that would be interesting. Manchester United interested as well. I think Arsenal have always been admirers. Chelsea have always been admirers, but it's looking like I saw 40 million ish. Now, that would be an absolute steal. I cannot see Brentford letting him go for anything less than 60, 70 million. But 40 million would be an absolute steal. So for me, I don't think there's too much in this. We know what quality he's got. We know what confidence he's got. At least we'd have the penalty taking situation sorted if he was to sign. And we know in terms of that physicality and leading the line, speed, power, pace, everything like that. Fantastic, fantastic player. There's a link with Birmingham City and that kind of needle he's got with the Villa fans, but I think we'd forgive him if he did sign for Aston Villa. But I don't think there's too much in this one at all. But exciting signing nonetheless. And again, it's interesting to be linked to these type of players. Now we have that Champions League carrot to dangle in front of certain players as well. Chiesa, I think, is still on the horizon as well. I do still think there's legs in that deal, but I guess it's with the Philogene deal that we've talked about before, how many wingers, how many wide players are we going to be looking at? But I think that's still in the offing as well. Another player that's been linked is from Juventus as well, is Dean Huyson. Interesting player here. Was at Malaga as a young player and then moved to Juventus in 2021. Featured for their next gen team, has made one appearance for Juventus and then went on loan to Roma in January this season and played 14 times, scoring 2 goals, and has been really, really highly rated. Only 19 years of age, 6'5", so really tall player. Probably got a little bit of filling out to do, and has represented Holland from under 16 to under 19 level, and now Spain at under 21 level. So I imagine there's a bit of a tug of war going on with who he is going to represent for his full cap. Now, I'll take a look at Sofa score for him. Obviously, he played 14 times for Roma on loan in Serie A. So, has that ability, has that quality. Born in Spain, but obviously plays in Italy. Can represent Netherlands as well. So he's got a good, I guess, cultured in terms of footballing ability. 14 games played, started 4 games, scored 2 goals as well. Missed one big chance. Obviously, not something for a defender, but very helpful to have that. Headed goal, one right foot goal, another, no clean sheets. 1.9 clearances per game, 1.8 ball recoveries per game. So it's quite difficult to understand in terms of the detailed statistics, but very, very, very highly rated. Jules won 49%, aerial Jules won 56%, and very much a potential signing here. But 25 million pounds, I think 25 million euros is somewhere in the region that they're asking for. Being kind of compared to an Ezri Konsa type player, comfortable with the ball, quite a Rolls Royce type player, reads the game very well, minimum of fuss, good with the ball as well. So could be interesting to see whether we do go for a player like him. Relationships to Juventus, very good, with obviously the Douglas Luiz deal and the players that we've brought in. So one to watch there with him. Could we potentially look at monitoring him as the season goes on? Could we do a loan deal, that type of thing? Would he be looking for more first team opportunities? Anyone in the chat, let me know your thoughts on him as a player. If you know a little bit more about him, if you've watched Roma last season, if you've seen him in the next gen side or anything like that with Juventus, or read any reports on him in terms of his quality. Now, finally, Philip Coutinho has confirmed, and Aston Villa have confirmed, that he's gone to Vasco da Gama on loan. Now, this is probably one of those where it's loan with a view to a permanent deal, or loan, where they're going to cover a substantial part of his wages. I know Brazilian clubs aren't flush with money, but this just smacks of, such a bad deal now. Now, not because I guess the player isn't of quality. We saw how good he was when he first came in, but signing him on such a long deal, I think he even has a year left after this year. So to get him off the wage bill is very, very, very difficult for this type of player, and with the injury record that he's had. So I think this is the best of a bad situation that we've managed to sort out. Whether we can rediscover some of his form, whether we can come to some arrangement after this season in terms of releasing him from his contract, we'll wait and see. But yeah, wish him well. Obviously, back in his home country, back at Vasco da Gama. I think he was there as a youngster as well. So, fair play to him. Hopefully, he can rediscover some form and re-find the love for football. But a bad deal all around for Aston Villa and Philippe Coutinho at the club. But yeah, that's it for me for the latest roundup. We'll be back maybe tomorrow with more news. I'll also be back with Fans Forum, hopefully in the next few days. On to watch England tonight. Hopefully, Ezri Konsa and Ollie Watkins can feature in some way, shape, or form. It'd be amazing if Ollie Watkins gets on and scores the winner. I mean, what a story that would be. And Ezri Konsa contributes to another victory. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Get your comments in below. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa.